The white on the flesh is for purity. The star is for republic. The is for black people. We know Liberia is home. The Declaration of Independence was signed in 1847. 11% of people, we are known as First Republic. The Lone Star shining evermore.
Oh, show allegiance, show loyalty, show love, patriotism, nationalism. These are the virtues that we need to cultivate as people if we want to rebuild Liberia after devastating 14-year civil crisis. Are we headed on the red trajectory? Are there confusion stay in the land? How do we make it better? How do we improve the system? It is on a Thursday. 1 year, 1 day after His Excellency Joseph Nyimon Boakai was inaugurated on Capitol Hill. 1 year has elapsed. 1 year has elapsed, and this is Voice of Liberia 104.1. That Don Dada, I got it so clear right here. Don Dada, don't worry. You cannot afford to go away because the best is yet to come. I will pray you through the issues I'm talking about this afternoon on this radio. In Bon County, our signal is 95.7. In Grand Bassa County, in Bon County, it's 90.7. In Makibi County, is 89.7. And in Vajamalofa County, is 96.7. What is going on Capitol Hill? Even though the lawmakers have migrated, they have migrated to the city hall where they are having legislative engagements. But in the face of that, there's a second fire outbreak in Monrovia, and the seat of the Capitol building again. Just minutes why the lawmakers were reading the communication for the police inspector general, asking for Gregory Kuma, asking in Battle House Speaker for Nadi Kofa, and says other lawmakers who appear before the police for investigation or risks being arrested. There was another fire in the Capitol building. I'm talking the John Session, right? Fire outbreak again at Capitol building. We're gonna agree for you to go further with this thing here. So what does that prove to you? This one, they are not accusing anyone of any arson, but they saw fire in the building. Will they make another arrest? Are they a suspect? Are they investigating? But journalists on the scene said the fire was there. The breakers were still up. They were not brought down, but there is electric shock. That's what the reporters on the ground are saying. So if this one is electric shock, then why are they attributing the last one to people trying to burn the Capitol building? Why has not there been, what? They are not taking some corrective measures to ensure that they quench or they break down everything that is there, every electrical appliance that is there. They disable them. Fire in a hole. Jeremiah Waplo, the political leader of the Vision for Liberia Transformation Party, endorses Prince Johnson Madam to contest in Nima County by-election. He thinks she will be a good replacement of her husband. But will the Nimayans accept her? Can she untie the sadness of her husband? How possible is that? Prince Johnson will have his petition. And while her party, her husband party, the NDR is not petitioning her, but instead another political party is endorsing her. Here's what does Jeremiah Wapo have in this country in terms of politics. Last time I checked, he has brought delegation from the Riverside to Buchanan, Grand Bassa County for a convention that will lead into the 2017 election. He let the delegates say he escaped. A reporter was reporting that time, said the man brought the people from Riverside and other countries, southern country. They are in Buchanan, they can't find a man. A political escapee, Jeremiah Wapo.
To the flag of Liberia. Show your allegiance, show your loyalty to that nation, Liberia. The flag of Liberia is flying. Show your allegiance, show your loyalty to that nation, Liberia. The fastest forever. The white on the fastest for purity. The star is for
Why is Representative Marvin Cole of Bon County District 3 resigning from the National Patriotic Party? He has tendered in his resignation and sent that communication to Her Excellency, former Vice President the Swakoko Mayo Joel Howard Taylor. He cites his resignation to lack of protection from his party. Accuses former Representative George Molba of double standards. Tried to get hold of the man called George Molba. I think getting on the phone, I sent him a message on the phone, he hasn't responded. If he answers my call, we shall talk about that. We're getting a troubling report again that one Liberian journalist is dead. Peter Toby, one time of Liberian Communication Network in Bangabon County, the days of Charles Taylor, coming to LCN, coming to KSFM, and going to True FM. The man Peter Toby is no more. His brother, former Deputy Press Secretary Simi Toby, tells me that he died at the military hospital in Monroeville, in Magibi County, rather. Peace be to his arches. Peter Toby is dead. Never mind to his family. Never mind to his daughter, Katumu Toby. The rest of the family. I will read some of your comments to set the basis for the discussion. Very hot this afternoon. You cannot afford to go away. My name is Jala Emmanuel Griffith III. The nation's Heavenly J. Better say, come in Kiang Balakbu. Or you come in Yalawan Tukao. If you go to Lofa County in Zewa, my town, my forefathers, people call me a superwoman. I'm the son of a warrior. And the son of a warrior fears nothing but to do wrong.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of Liberia and to the Republic.
Oh yes, welcome back to the show. It is on Voice of Liberia 104.1, and I'm here with my young brother, Mr. Weti, George Weti. Wei, sorry. Wei.
Yeah,
Welcome and tell us what's on the menu for the cash giveaway.
Yeah, thank you, Jala. It's an opportunity again to be here with you this afternoon on the show, Bits and Pieces. And today we're giving out 10,000 Liberian dollars. And so the code is *799 90 hash, star 799 star 90 hash. So you have to play as many times as you can play in order to stand a chance of winning yourself 10,000 Liberian dollars.
All right, so you have it there. Let me go to our guys who have joined us on our live feed. At 3 o'clock, we'll have a guest. But for now, I will just say the information. George will join me, we'll have some conversation. Then I will have the phone lines activated for you to speak your mind on the matters being discussed. Let me welcome Christopher Bernard, watching from Lower McGee County, OT Civilized, Bella Boy, following from a resident at New Georgia, Michael community. And this man say good afternoon to our leader. I mean, some of the characterization I will not read it, you know, it will not be appropriate for this radio. Ravi and Bar, they are our leaders. Even though they do some wrongs, you cannot say what you say to them on the radio and you ready and you want to read it, I will not read it. And you are saying it with your mouth. When you call the show, I don't have no control over that one. Ravi and Bar, good afternoon, Jala Griffith, following the broadcast from Monrovia, Bujo Alan. Maurice Neiman Jr., good afternoon, Bosso Liberia family. I'm falling from Japan Freeway. Prince today Jadia. Falling from it's a good afternoon, big brother Jala Griffey and George Wei. Salia M. Yang. Good afternoon, Bozo Liberia family. I'm following closely from Capital Bypass. Peter one day. Following from Crown Hill. Matthew Warner calling and following me from Kawa area. Ravi Ambassador, good afternoon. Confirm report say Hussein Kau is a member of the Colors Brigade of the Rescue Government on payroll at the Ministry of Information, my man. But man, get right away, my man. That man government here also. And that one is at end news. And I'm not news, my brother. George J. Brown. Good afternoon, veteran Jala. I'm watching from an N post office on the main campus of the University of Liberia. J. Tonola Mangil. Good afternoon, I'm following from Bangapong County. Thanks for the show, he said. Muya Sherry says, good afternoon, I'm following you. I'm from district number 1, Tinker this afternoon. From Matadi, this country is totally in mess. We don't know where we are going. On Joseph Jimon everything just messing up. The country, they are going after some lawmakers. David E. Harris, follow me from Benson Street at Monrovia. Vince Suarez, follow me from somewhere, he said, I'm a Gazi community in the Peaceville. Maxwell Nippon, Washington Andrew S. Fire Jr., Progressive Andrew, he said, let me go back and read that comment and as I reactivate the song. Progressive Andrew Wayne. Progressive Andrew Rice. First time in the history of the borough of Nikru Town since 1916. Information to our beloved people of the borough and Liberia at large. Today, January 23, 2025, the people of the borough will receive the Honorable Ambassador of the Republic of Guinea, His Excellency Abu Bakar Sila. Okay. Abraham Ayusi Kone. Good evening, I'm watching from Israel. Yaha. Abraham Ayozi Kone. Mike Bowie. Watching the Kolahun district. Yana. Prijito. Watching from Puebla district number 3. You understand the issue, thanks. Phil Jacob Kemu. Calling from Banga. City 1 Jebo. Watching from Florida, the United States of America. A CD 1 Jebo. Bawala James watching from the USA. Rabi Ba has come back. Andrew F. Fire is back again. Aliu Kamara is back. He said, hi guys. Emmanuel M. Colley watching from Double Road. Thomas Double Momolu watching from somewhere in Capital Bypass. Diallo Soleimani falling from Sinker. Kevin Thompson watching from Paris. God favor Lawrence Thompson, the Thomas brother, Washington 19th Street. Prince Zito, Washington Puebla. Rudolph Dennis, following Jala Morris Gray, following from his community, he's a rehab. Amara Jala Kamara, following from Brussels. He said, "Hi, brother Jala. I'm following you from Brussels. Many thanks for the tremendous job." It's Amara Jala Kamara. Tim S. Malva. Good afternoon, Brussels Liberia, Washington from Topo Village. Melvin Doa, Washington Tabata City, Nima County. While DRT took by his Washington from Ominga Market, he says CDC Project. Welcome back. Keep your messages coming. I'll read them for you. You are the ones who start the show, so I need to start with you too. But let me move on. Today, I listened to a reading of a communication from the Police Inspector General Gregory Coleman to the majority members of the House of Representatives, presided over by Richard Nangbe Kuhn. And in that section, I saw some of the lawmakers who came from the minority bloc. They have joined them. According to what they said, they would join them. But some say they will not recognize Richard Kuhn as a speaker, as evidence of the fact that Yeke Kolba stood outside and defy him and say he will not call him speaker. He and some of his colleagues were loggerheads, and I saw him pointing fingers at one of the heads of one of his friends, and all of those are happening. So today, the presiding officer, I didn't see who read that communication, but I heard a voice. The police are saying that the Capitol building fire the other day, they have investigated. There are two culprits in their custody as we speak. One is Tom Aldrich, and the other one is there. They've been brought to court, being prosecuted, and carried back to jail. And I'm told they have to pay a value bond or whatsoever it is. I will speak to our correspondent on Capitol Hill and that of the guys from the court. If I can get some of our friends who from other media institutions to get them to give me some information about the trial, I will do. So in furtherance of that, the police say that they have investigated and found out that some lawmakers, 7 of them, headed by the embattled speaker for Nadi Kofa, they need to be investigated. So they're calling on them to go to the police station for investigation. So in other words, they're asking the speaker to turn it over. I know in a case of Roland Kine, when there was a land dispute between he and his assistant minister at the Ministry of Finance at the time, this man was a spokesman for LERD. I forgot his name, even though his name just sent it to me. He was a spokesman for LERD, and later he was appointed as assistant minister at the Ministry of Finance. The guy name coming in my mind, going by small man. Yeah. So there was a land issue in Magibi County where they massacred people. And during that massacre, they arrested some people. And what the court did was the court wrote the pro tem of the Senate, I think it was asking Yenebo at the time, and asking the Yenebo's administration to turn over Mr. Roland Kine to be prosecuted because of his link in what happened. So Mr. Roland Kine was stripped of his amenities. He was turned over to the court to be prosecuted. So that's the procedure. So the police is asking that, because the police falls under the Ministry of Justice. So the police is asking that they should go for investigation. But during the time of investigation, if they see probable cause that they are linked to the fire disaster, they'll be arrested. CDC comes and says, CDC, no. CDC say you can't arrest anybody. I listened to Jangako yesterday. You can't arrest anybody. We will resist you by any means to arrest any of our lawmakers. They say, when you can do, you will not arrest anybody here. But the lawmakers themselves are saying, we've not done anything wrong. When I listened to Safoko on one of the radio stations yesterday in the evening, and he was told that he will be arrested, he said, no, I'm sitting home with my family. And, okay, I'm told Honorable Fanade Kufa is reading something. I'll read it later. So he said, I can be arrested. I'm sitting right from my house. You can't arrest me. But prior to that, I have breaking this news. I said, we've gotten some information from the corridors of power on Tuesday that there are attempts by the government to arrest some lawmakers. I put this on this microphone, and many of you called me and say it was a lie. But that was corroborated by the Justice Minister this morning when he spoke to some media institution, said they have not issued any arrest for any lawmaker, but if the need be, they will arrest. So the same thing the police is saying now, if you don't tell yourself over, they will arrest you. But there are political ramifications that come with these. These are some lawmakers. I don't know whether the intent of the executive and some members of the legislature under the governor of Mr. Kuhn, they're trying to put fear in their colleagues. I don't know. Either to submit to his authority as speaker, so they want to put fear in them. We'll arrest you, we'll prosecute you, we'll jail you to make them afraid. But I know these guys who you are threatening now, they are not small boys, they are men. They have followings. They're from political parties, gallant political parties as well. So, in my mind, I don't support jungle justice. I don't support people disrespecting the laws. If the police say they have reasons to invite these people, inviting them honorably, I will ask them to submit themselves to the investigation. But how shall we know that the prison police will not concoct lies and put it on the heads of these individuals, say they are accomplices to the crime committed allegedly on Capitol Hill? How shall we? Jonah White Phillips, welcome. Champon Tia, welcome. Matthew Alaba Antoche, welcome from Kuwait Market area, Douala. Eric Gray, welcome from Claratown. Never Kotu, Peve Never, welcome from Monrovia. My condolences to the PUA, he says. Fatu Sherry, welcome. Thanks for the judge, he says. Stanley Sherry, welcome from Broadway City. Ruben Nyelian, I'm waiting for Israel. So, who knows whether they submit themselves, that submission for investigation preliminarily will not lead to an arrest. So CDC said, as a major political party, opposition party now, you cannot arrest any of our lawmakers. What is happening? What is it leading to? Because I know CDC with the history they have of protestation. We saw Honorable Ellen Johnson serving 12 years. Citizens were arrested. They were beaten and incarcerated. The Achi Sano, you hear on the radio sometime. They were arrested around the Capitol building area. They were grabbed, placed on the ground. They used batuks on their foot, knocking a crazy boon and they were in drum. Moro escaped. They arrested many of them, and I know the story. They are saying that they will not sit down this time around. 1 year has elapsed. CDC remains gallant. They will not sit around and see the wrong thing happening in jungle justice. That's what they're referring to it as jungle justice. But for me, I will advise the lawmakers who have the names have been called to just submit themselves for the preliminary investigation to answer questions, because obviously they call what his name said, Friends I forgot the other day. He went there and he cleared his name, but they said they called him by again. Apparently they have found some other information. But who knows? The case has been prejudiced ever since. It was prejudiced ever since by His Excellency Ambassador Boakai. On the very day he appeared to the Capitol building to see the level of damage that was there, which in my mind was also a risk for the president, that where a fire has taken place and consumed majority of the building, whether it was terrorists that did it, they were say around that building, if they say having that sniper gun passing around, looking around, you took our president and carried him to that place to show what? The president has nothing to do, but you convince the old man to carry him to that place and say, go and see the fire disaster. Then he goes there and say, this is a work of hooligans. The old man did not say anything on his own. It was the security report that told him that the place was burned. And based on the intelligence, that's where he came with that statement, said it was hooligans that burned the place. If the security head about Gregory Como and the fire director, they had not told the president, say people burn the place, Boakai wouldn't have said it was hooligans. But based on the information they're giving, that's why the woman can say this is a work of hooligans. So to prove a case that hooligans did it, the appropriate thing they will do now is to go after people to arrest them. Why go to Fernandina Cover House and arrest Edric and other people say they are linked? They allegedly carried them to the torture house, they tortured them and made them to call people names. And you are using those names in your police charge sheet to prosecute them and others. Bam! While they say investigating, they're reading the statement on the floor of the Capitol building, and not Capitol, but the floor of the lower house around City Hall. Another fire will go, poof! They start burning it again. People ran there. They say, oh, they play. The fire being, they didn't call the breaker off. The breaker being on since that time. Imagine since the first fire incident will go to almost 1 month. The guys have not dislocated. They have not even dismembered. They have not dismantled all of those appliances they have in that place. Even to bring the breaker down or to cut the wire off to stop future embarrassment or future fire, they left it on. So today they can't tell you, say the fire at Capitol building today, it was someone who burned the Capitol building again. That someone threw a petrol bomb there. So this one is clearly seen as I call it, a electric shock. So it is one being investigated again by the same people. And journalists were on the scene. They said this is as a result of fire from the breaker, and I came down, the well fell in the water, it caused fire. So it means that while the building got burned, but they say electricity, currency going to the wires. Why didn't they disconnect them? Will they point to someone else and say, did they want to burn the place again today? So it just tells you that the information given by the police to the president about arson attack was incorrect. Before the day the place got burned, Danishos Wisse, the Senate Security Chief, had gone there and inspected and said, with the removal of the chairs from this section of John Chambers here, it means that there's some omniscience behind this removal. We heard Kole say they took them for safekeeping, but how did he know that they took them for safekeeping? What did he know about what's going to be happening the next day that he took the chairs from there? Today against another fire incident at the Capitol. Broad day. It's not in the net, people say around. So just from this fire incident today, any well-meaning and well-thinking Liberian would think that the initial fire in that Capitol building was as a result of electric shock. Because same thing happened before. It happened in a breaker while the lawmakers were there. They were still fighting as to who became speaker. And the place led attention to the fire incident there, and it left it went the way it went. So today, it has gone the same way it gone. They are going after lawmakers. What happened if these some lawmakers are arrested? You cannot be a ruling party or ruling a government and invite crisis. I respect the rule of law. I don't support people getting involved in hooliganism. They are money they get from Capitol building are lawmakers. I'm not eating some. But I'm saying to you that the safety and stability of our country is what matters. If you go to Negro Town, where this man called, Disney Civil has a stronghold, you go arrest him there. Do you know what will be the reaction of his people there? If you did it to Marvin Cole in Bond County, one of the lawmakers who got the highest votes in Bond County in the whole country, if you go there to arrest him in that place, you know what happens? What goes on if something goes wrong there? Are you considering the political ramifications that will come after? That's the thing about it. Fonati is the speaker. Even though he's been embattled, he also has his following. Abu Kamal has a following. Or they have following. So let's be cautious for once. And do not allow this in slap in our hands. Because once it slides, it becomes a big problem. Now, if you say when I arrest them, if they don't avail themselves to your authority as a police director or the justice minister, you go to arrest them forcibly, and you are met with stiff resistance. What happens? Then it plunges us into the dark days again. I know similar thing happened here. when Chancellor attempted to arrest Roosevelt Johnson, I think it was September 18. They are all members of the same council. But Taylor felt that he was the acting chair at the time. He had more power, and he wanted to arrest Roosevelt Johnson broad daylight. Not knowing that Roosevelt Johnson hired people right on Crown Hill right here, and they were around Ken Johnson Road. That led us to serious crisis here. I was doing the drama at the City Hall, a young man coming up, and I seen the press doing some drama work here at the City Hall. I have to walk from here way to Red Light Point Road. No cars. Saw rebels passing with their guns. We are not praying for this thing. I'm not saying it will happen. We are just bringing this forth because history is an early warning alarm system. We need to learn from them. Norman Curzon was not wrong. He said history is an early warning alarm system. We need to learn from it. But in the event of all of those, the Honorable Fanatic Kofa has written on his Facebook page. And I'll let my young brother George to read that for us. If it is long, just go to the myths.
No,
and
very
then,
short.
Okay,
It's very short.
George, go ahead.
He says, I understand that by communication to the House of Representatives, Majority Bloc, the Liberia National Police has invited me and others to assist in the investigation of fire incident. Since the unfortunate occurrence of this event, I have consistently cooperated and ensured the cooperation of all persons under by implored. I must reiterate that I am and remain absolutely innocent of any involvement in this event. I again encourage the authorities to seek international partners' assistance to ensure a fair and impartial investigation. That's why the honorary battle speaker just posted 12 minutes ago.
Now, so it's a good statement, but the speakers should know that the crime scene has been polluted. The crime scene has been polluted. If the police and the fire service wanted to have international experts coming to investigate the fire thing, they would have done it.
Nonsense.
Do you know what happened? One of the online newspapers broke the police director, asking him several questions about this. I think is Lana Dudu's front page, how you call it, sir? Investigator. Sent couple of questionnaires to the police inspector general. You told us that you will ensure you bring international fire investigators here to assist. Can you tell us where they came from? What is the name of the firm? Did they come to Liberia? And they asked several questions to the police inspector general. They never responded to the people's inquest because they failed to bring international fire expert to investigate the thing. So it was the police and the fire service that already pressurized the whole thing and said that people burn the place. They are the same people. They are the accusers and they are the investigators. So they are the judge, they are the witness, and they are the jurors. So the investigator, they found people guilty. They didn't bring any fire expert here. So the people was asking, you said to us that on the day of the arson, you said arson attack, you have brought some people to come and help you. But in the face of that, you didn't bring anybody. But if you brought them, give us their names, their contact, where they come from, and SYC, then we can do a follow-up. The police failed to do so. So what that speaks to you is that they are either trying to concoct lies to indict other people based on false alarm. But I like what Kofa said. He said, reiterating that they should have international firefighters coming to investigate this thing and know what happened. Forensic investigation. But Mr. Kofa, you should know that the crime scene has been compromised. The crime scene has been polluted. People have gone there elsewhere. So you don't find anything. It was despicable and very little-mannered to hear from the deputy fire service director that on the day the fire occurred, they saw a small container bottle like this.
Fire can burn a container?
Yeah, mineral water bottle that they have gas inside. How would the fire burn all the furniture that were there? Furniture burned, computers burned, everything burned. The artists, they wall cracked, but the container says that there was gas inside. What kind of broad lie is that?
Like
George.
That. Yes, and so Jala, let me appreciate you for the lineup. And I've sat and listened to you keenly. And Jala, I don't know where we're heading as a country. And I think the police ourselves need to be very careful into what they're doing because, like others have said, that this is a scare tactics that the government try to employ by intimidating the lawmakers, because the government see these guys as influential lawmakers that if they don't bring the guys down, automatically they will find it very difficult in the near future. And I mean, they have to be careful as a government, and the police will also have to be skeptical. Like you said, these people, like you have Representative Josiah Marvin Cole. He's a very influential young man and a lawmaker of Bon County. Going to arrest Representative Cole in Banga, automatically the county will be upside down. Mind you, he contested in the senatorial election in that county, and he finished second. He got
Which year was that?
That was in
2017?
was it? No, not 2017. 2018 by election. He contested
Okay.
against that Senator Tokpa.
Okay.
Yes. So it tells you that this is a man that had numbers in Bon County. So going to arrest that kind of man, will his supporters sit and just allow you arrest him and go scot-free? Automatically no. And so like the embattled speaker said, the government have to be skeptical. They have to invite these people or independent minded people to ensure that they launch a very transparent investigation into the matter. Because in fact, the lawmakers, they don't trust the police. We're even wondering as to whether they will be able to turn out to the police, whether they will honor the invitation or their letters for investigation, whether they will turn out, because they don't trust the police at all. At some point in time, too, the lawmakers will be right, even if it doesn't turn out, because the first fire incident that occurred, I mean, the president was the first. I thought president should have been the last one. The kind of incident occurred, but the president was the first, and he may all said a statement.
No, but they coerce the old man to go there.
And today fire incident, the president have not said anything. We've not listened to the LNP or the fire service guys. They've not said anything about it. So where are we? It tells you that what transpired or what's going on at Capitol building, these guys from the majority bloc need to be investigated.
Thank you. At 4 o'clock on the flip side, Mr. Jackie C. Smith will join me. He is a businessman and a politician. He has been a sympathizer of many political parties, which have put a spin on the one-year administration of Joseph Nyimon Boakai. He's been one of those calling for peace in Liberia, calm in the country, in the midst of the political ups and downs. He thinks that Liberia should remain resolute until after the 6 years reign of Joseph Boakai. He will be as my guest at 4 o'clock. 3 to 4 o'clock, we shall have a good conversation. Now, let me move forward. Josiah Marvin Cole of the MPP, who ran twice on the MPP ticket, even though supported the CDC, has written a letter of resignation to Nesuakoko Mayo Joe Tiller.
Yeah,
The letter
right.
is here.
read
It is
it.
long. I won't read it because there's no time. I will read part of it, and then we shall delve into that. Josiah Marvin Cole is saying in his conversation to Mayo that, Madam former Vice President, I'm stepping down, sending in my resignation as a member of the MPP because I feel that I have been betrayed by some of my people. He pointed fingers at Mr. George Molwa, Councillor George Molwa, or Attorney George Molwa, for undermining his authority after he sits on suspension by the majority bloc of lawmakers. Marvin Cole thinks that he was unprotected by the chairman of the party. He goes to say, Her Excellency Chief Dr. Joe Taylor, okay, so Madam Senate Bearer and fellow partisans, I present my compliments and herein avail myself the opportunity to inform you and members of the National Patriotic Party about my resignation as member of the party, MPP. Accordingly, Madam Senate Bearer and my distinguished partisans, my resignation is predicated upon, sorry, it's smaller, so I'm going to make it print bigger. It's predicated upon the stance taken by the national chairman, Honorable George Sylvester Molba, and some executive members of the party to endorse my illegal suspension, along with some members of the Coalition for Democratic Change, and not giving me the opportunity to be heard as required by the law and constitution of the party. So that's what he wrote. So in short, that's a TC comment from his resignation, that he resigning from the NPP. Perhaps he'll get support now to the CDC. He'll run a CDC ticket next time. But he thinks that the NPP has done him harm. He cannot be struggling with a case or a fight in the legislature where his character has been brought into tata accordingly, and then he's fighting to clear his name. Then the chairman of the party is backing his suspension and supporting majority members who he thinks are in the wrong and are doing unorthodox things. So he said, Madam Vice President, former Vice President, I'm resigning from the party because I'm not protected. That's George Moluba's party. I mean, MPP is the chairman. So Marvin Cole has stepped down, and you have to give you a thought. Let me go and read some of the comments up there.
Yes, and so I read a letter from the offices of the lawmaker. And you know, this former lawmaker that he's the chairman of the NPP, he talks too much. And this is not the first time. And I think the former vice president will have to be careful with former Representative George Moba and the chairman of the NPP.
But he's the chairman, though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's the chairman of the party.
But do you think this man will take decisions unilaterally before the approval of the vice president?
Jala, I come in 1 minute. This is the same chairman of the NPP who said that he had a dream, and the Unity Party senator, who is currently the senator of Bon County, he said he had a dream, and Mui was a senator when you had Yala also in that election in Bon County. And since the election, he has been making all set of statements in favor of the ruling establishment. And some of these statements has been criticized hugely in the county. Some feel that, you know, he's finding means and trying to see as to whether he can get his will in to get job within this government. And I think, like I said, the former vice president will have to be careful with former Representative George Moba because of his relationship to Senator Moy. And on the other hand, if you look at the letter that was written by Representative Marvin Cole, it's something to look at too skeptically. But anything is possible along the way before 2029, because mind you, the NPP have a very strong hold in Banga. The NPP did extremely well for him, Representative Cole. You can rule out the NPP in his election in Banga specifically, because mind you, District 3 is half of Banga. The NPP did extremely well. But now the chairman of the party, some of his statements being made since the former party, the former CDC got defeated. It tells you that the former vice president have to be very careful with him, because he has started going, to bed with the Unity Party.
You think so?
I think so. From the statements, that's how it is.
Okay.
And former VP have to be skeptical of Representative George Moba.
George, thanks for your input to that, and I hope that this can be resolved. But Marvin Cole is saying there's no turning around. He doesn't feel comfortable being in the NPP again because he felt being betrayed by the NPP, because the chairman spoke. If the chairman speaks, it means that the party has spoken. So he will not let this one lying down. So he has resigned his position. Now, I will come back. There's something happening at the DEA, the Drug Enforcement Agency. I will let her talk about it on Monday. And I will take my time investigating it. There are early signs of some discontentment and that of dissatisfaction and signs of confusion showing its ugly face again at the DEA. That has to do with the Deputy Director General, Mr. Sebastian Farr, and that of his boss, Mr. Anthony Saw, that is hampering the raiding of ghettos in areas where it's be going. Sources within the agency have informed us that all the guys who have been raiding ghettos around Monrovia and its environs have been stopped allegedly on the order of Mr. Safar not to raid any ghettos on his order, and that the Director General should not even give instruction to anyone to do such. So there are some signs of discontentment there right now. We say doing some investigation. I tried to get to Sebastian. He said I should talk to the PRO of the entity. I sent him text message. He didn't respond. Up to now, he has not responded. But I will take my time to have that investigation done. But the DA is a very good institution. We need to have the government informed that the DA is struggling. It needs financial upbringing. It needs financial support. What is given to the DA in this current budget is very infinitesimal, given the fact that there are so many ghettos in Monrovia and its environs that needed to be weeded out or broken down by the DEA. Now they have a drug law that was passed that talk about if you arrest anyone with drugs, the property should be sold rather, and the proceeds given to the victims whatsoever. These are good laws. If the laws are on the book and the DA is going to raid people, raiding them and taking their properties, selling them, and giving back to the people who deserve it will be better than people fighting among themselves. And I know all the last time since Anthony Saw came back to the country, he's a very good law enforcement officer. I've been knowing the Omen for long. He worked with Ellen Johnson Sully as a last DA officer. He left and went to the States doing some consultancy. He was called back by the president to come and help because the president sees fit that Mr. Anthony Saw is a good man. He can fight drugs in the country. So if he won't recommend his deputy or whatsoever who brought in there, and this man also is a seasoned police officer. I know him from the police academy, and they have to work together to ensure that the right things are done. But Monday, I will try to talk about it in length, but I'm just giving a synopsis. I'm just giving a gist of what's happening at the DEA. That is an entity that needs more money in the budget. The tax is ahead. If you see the number of children, the number of young people who are dying daily for drugs, just walk the street of Monrovia and see the children. They are not tying a cloth on their foot. They say it's what the kush is doing to them. The kush is breaking their bones. You pass by 4 or 5 of them, you see 3 of them will have cloth tied to their foot. It is as a result of drugs. The Nigerians are bringing the drugs here. They're being arrested in a number. Some of them in jail. Some of them were bailed out before the drug law was passed. So I think Mr. Anthony Saw and that of his deputy, Mr. Sebastian Farr, need to work together to ensure that the entity moves on. We don't want to see a repetition of what happened there when A.B. Krumah was boss and his deputies started disrespecting him. That led to a serious infight, and the president has to dismiss every one of them. Right now, I think you guys there should move together as bosses and sit together, eat together, work together for the good of the country. Do not put anything that will divide you guys, because it's not just good for the forward movement of our country. Let me take some of your comments, then I come and then take calls maybe for 10 minutes. If Jackie Smith comes in time, we'll take him 10 minutes past 3 o'clock. Let me get this one coming quickly as I introduce you to the messages coming in.
I don't just make love, I be stroking. I be stroking. Stroking to the east.
Jonah Ward Phillips, falling from Tel Aviv, Israel. My brother, how are you in Tel Aviv? Please contact me via my Facebook page. Let's have a conversation, Jonah Ward Phillips. Tel Aviv, in Israel. Mohammed Toure, University campus, welcome. Watching from Rhode Island is Heaven Doe. Patrick N says, watching from somewhere. It's a house up to you, Mr. George Way. Ruben S. David Toba. Good afternoon, following from Looking Town, Vicky Spot. Harriet Lila Brisbane. The household have joined us in Painesville. Harriet Lila Brisbane. How is Mr. Alfonso Brisbane? An entire household, man. How will the Lord take his course in the country when the leaders of the country are in line with the law? It's a man called Nele Kotu, former Deputy Director General at the National Lottery. Matilda Stevens says, good afternoon, Jala. Amara Jala Kamara said, why only the minority block? Philip L.G. Detois. Good afternoon, brother Jala. Emma Nima brothers George. My name is Philip L.G. Detois, following you guys from Banga City, Bon County. George, you need to activate the phone lines now. John David Nakula Yakpawulo. Good afternoon, brother Jala. Watching from Banga City, Bon County. The GMB and his government officials are getting carried away. We will resist any. No. I will not read your kind of comments. Yeah, now please. Just be safe in your conversation. Do not insult people. Do not put insults in your comment. I will not read that. I'm following from Kokoya City, Bangabon County. My guest is walking here already. I will take it very shortly. Vincent S. Ducky, watching from Sanakoli City, Nima County. Mohamed Maraman J. Sharif, watching from somewhere in Francis community. V. Mohammed Sharif from South Korea says, V. Mohammed Sharif says he's watching. Nina Kuya. Good morning, Jala. Good morning, Nina. Nina. Elton Bukuyu, calling from Bon County. Prince Soma, watching from Philadelphia. P.S. Charles, watching from Germany. When she gets satisfied, she keeps calling my name.
She said,
Ooh. When she gets satisfied, and she keeps calling my name. Jala Greyfield, Jala Greyfield. Ooh, yeah.
and it got so good.
Speak about man call.
She told me
This one is by the man call.
what she told me.
Clarence Scott is called stroking.
She said,
I will take about 8 calls, 10 minutes past 3 o'clock. I will take my guest. He's here already. Jackie Smith is a respect of time. I told you earlier that he's coming. He will be my guest. We'll have some civil discussion. He's one of those cautioning Liberians to respect the rule of laws and to ensure that we remain on the path that we're on now on the elections. There should be no disturbances here. We shall examine the 1-year reign of the president and some hula balos around Capitol building and all of those. So the numbers are 0773-419-502, 0555-184-711 for the people in the counties, 0773-978-564 for the females. So 0773-419-502. The numbers. Let's hear you. Hello. Hello, caller.
Yeah, good afternoon, Jara.
Good afternoon. Welcome. You have 1 minute.
Thank you, Jara. This is David King, and I do join you, President somewhere in the river.
Please go ahead. Let's hear you.
Yeah, you see, Jara, what is going on in this country, it is not good for our emerging democracy.
What is it?
I think what the guys are doing at the Capitol building.
Mm-hmm.
You can remember the first fire incident at the Capitol building. The guy did not investigate that fire incident to create the public space. And now the second occurrence took place.
No,
We are very much
they said it was arson. The investigators said it was arson. And my only concern here has been that
No, I mean the first fire incident, because there was a fire incident before the John Chimo got burned.
mm-hmm.
All right, we never heard anything about the investigation that was done. So the second one now they are talking about arson, and we got a third occurrence today. So are they telling us that after the second occurrence, they never cut off all of the wire leading to that building?
The wires have been there.
They put it in the perspective, because I listened to Gregory when I was reading a quote-unquote report that Farron was taking the building and stuff like that. Then you knew that Farron was taking the building. Why couldn't you put safety mechanism into place so that we can have a third occurrence as we have today?
All
So
right.
you see, just by our democracy.
Thank you, my brother. The next caller, let's hear you. Hello, caller, let's hear you. What's the name? Where do you call from?
Good evening, sir.
Good afternoon. Welcome. What's your name? Where do you call from?
Thank you very much. This is Josh Walker. I call from Buchanan City.
Buchanan City, Grand Bassa County. Welcome to Monrovia.
Thank you very much. You know, this is the only country we have.
Mm-hmm.
But the way the country is moving, even somebody from Sano County, somebody from Bekongide, from Maryland, the country was not like this. From the time Waka took over, the government has been doing things that is not good. You win election, you vex, it to say that Waka took over the country. You fighting for against you using the police to get the mission of those that have problems with you people who you think are influential people not supporting you. It's very wrong. The police took training. The police are put of people, Gregory Como and Boaka should not be using the police to cause problems. And the country does not belong to Joe Boaka human laws from today. He was an ordinary man, and after 2029, he will be an ordinary man.
Thank you,
He
sir.
should not create the share that will hunt him tomorrow here, Gregory Como.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you. May your comment. The lines are still open. The female line is 0773-978-564. Let me go to George to announce the cash giveaway again.
Yeah, star 799 star 90 hash. Star 799 star 90 hash. You have to play as many times. Play because at 4 right after the show, I will be here to do the transfer of your money. Like I said, it's $10,000 we're giving out. So keep playing star 799 star 90 hash.
Let's say you call her. Where do you call from? What's your name?
Thank you. Thank you so much, Chara Griffith. How are you, sir, man?
I'm okay, sir.
Thank you. This is the civilized basketball. Peter McCauley, and I join you from District 9, Most County.
Peter McCauley, I've not heard from you a long time since the incident at the Capitol. I'm told you were my handle. I saw some photos around that you were my handled.
Really, some of all we are purchasing all around here, so that we cannot show ourselves. That's why you can hear me. But because the way the country is going on, Jala, if you can retrospect, in South Africa, when Tom and Becky were leading the South African in different form and manner, and left and then went for setting or meeting to.
Yes, let the history about it. Go to the issues on discussion.
So almost 10 to 15,000 South Africans took the street, and then they said they want Tom and Becky no opportunity in King resign. So some of us we are making forces that President Walker need to step down before the end of the year. But let me say this. Yesterday, people got together, President we are doing the police of Gregory Komota and Pajo Suluta. But now, we see Gregory Como bring balancing SOD, ATU form into the police. You have two opposing forces that are making the country is in a type of form and manner that is going to be taught. You have a majority and a minority. After the final catch of that building, there's a chair that was in that building reserved for the person who presides as a presiding officer over the meeting, be the chair or executive, be the deputy speaker or the speaker proper or the chief clerk or the on foreign affairs. But the chair was taken from that after we hear and say fire plays the play.
So what do you make of the recent decision to call the lawmakers for questioning further, and if they fail, to have to arrest them?
What?
The decision by the lawmakers now to, by the police to ask that several lawmakers be investigated for the fire incident. How are you looking at it?
The former representative of my district is willing for any investigation. He's willing to submit himself to any investigation.
Thank you,
But
Peter.
the investigation will be properly done.
Thank you,
It will
Peter.
not be on a quarter way that you come for the man Nicodemus. And you try.
Thank you, Peter.
10,000 person voted.
Thank you, Peter. Hello, the next caller. Hello.
Yeah, good evening, Jala.
Good evening, sir. Welcome. How do you where do you call from?
Yeah, my name is Ari. We are joining from Paso.
Grandmaster, welcome.
Yeah. Jala, let me tell you something. It has been to us that Mr. Bwaga was to come yesterday to treat with the Liberian people. Because how will you carry investigation? Since Mr. Bwaga become a president in Liberia, all the investigation, everything has been unswept under the carpet. Every investigation they go to, it go on the government side. What kind of investigation the government have been carrying on? Then when they're ready, they say we're carrying on investigation. Then you look at 4 crimes, put it on different people, treating the people, putting the people in jail, treating the people, beating the people. What kind of country we live in a place here? How the country move forward now? We're talking about development. He said that to rescue the Liberian people. How the country will move forward? Because they think that it will scare investors to come to the country. Let me friend. They say that we don't pray for bad things, but for God forbid, this country in the says here, I would think so. This says here will be a free year that people ever will go in vain. So thank you for the show this afternoon.
I will take 2 calls and I come to my guest. Is there another caller? That's 077 397 8564 is for the female. Let me welcome Bravi and Bob back to the show. Mr. Blambo Nimlin, welcome. As I said, good evening. I'm calling from the United States. Is Utah land, India City, India. GMB is breaking all our laws, he said. Prince S. Charlie, good afternoon. I'm following from Germany. And Prince Suman following from Philadelphia. Ayrton Kukuyu following from Bone County. Welcome. Let's take the next caller. Hello, welcome. Hello. Good afternoon, sir. Welcome. What's your name?
Thank you for the show. I'm David Harris, and I call from Benson Street.
Benson Street, welcome to Capital Bypass.
Yeah, what I want to say is to the previous caller, we gather you read the necessary checkpoint. There is no constitutional provision that tells people to gather in the street and call for the president to step down. The only way the president can leave office is either through impeachment, through the House of Parliament.
Is it the first time you have heard that?
In this country, I'm talking about Liberia.
No, I'm saying, wait. Is it the first time that you have heard that somebody calling for the president resignation or the step down?
No, I've been hearing about what I'm saying.
So is it right now? Is it wrong now? It was right before. Is it wrong now?
No. I'm not talking about right or wrong.
Oh, okay.
But what I'm saying here, there is no provision in our constitution to tell you to gather and call for the president to step down. People can do it. I know that it ain't happening. And lastly, Jala, on the issue of the DA. At the DA, we need an energetic, strong person at the DA. Young person that will be able to mobilize and run the DA effectively. The person at there, Jala, they don't have the required energy. So we call on the president to ensure.
But do you think energy needed to be as general before you do?
Yeah, but so Jala,
if someone expresses that.
In some cases, the head of the DA can be on the feast of time, not when the delegate of operation. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. The last caller is here. Let me welcome CDC Public Sources Keita for life. Good afternoon, Voice of Liberia. I'm watching from Dubu Road. Welcome, CDC Public Sources Keita. Yeah, next caller, welcome the last one.
Hello, Jala.
You are welcome. Are you on the air?
Continue to talk, but not to fight.
But
yeah, to talk is the problem, but not to fight. I think I have seen.
Yeah, Jala Griffith chapter 1 verse 1. We're not fight, we'll talk.
Yeah, talk and not to fight. But you see, from talk about time, we brought people that said that they destroy the native people because they destroy the Congo people because they want to take power. And then I don't know why the people still killing people, stop hanging people because they kill. But now people shooting people on the road and going free. They take man because they stole. But now people take skinny and going free. So then what change you get? And for that time, we now hear of the lady saying that fight in the house. But it's coming out now. So that means still going back. They say,
thank you.
And I will stay on.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so very kindly. This is how to welcome Mr. Jackie Smith, a son of the Bassa land, with Senegal Diabo. Musa M. Connor says, good afternoon, Jala. I join you from Red Light. While Asata M. Miller says, good afternoon, Mr. Grayfield. I'm watching from Red Hill. Good to be on the show. Wasaros will come on. Tokolon says, good afternoon. I'm watching from Macquarie County. Juju One Way says he's watching. Oh yes, when Ellen Johnson said he was president of Liberia, when the first congressional delegation visited the country, I was assigned at the executive mansion when this guy performed his music. And the mayor of Detroit in Michigan, Patrick Kirkpatrick, Kwame Kirkpatrick, that was the tour guide that day. The mayor of Michigan in 2007 or 2006. Tour guide George, welcome to the show this afternoon from somewhere in Banga City, Bon County, District 2. John David Nakula Yakbaulo joining us, and welcome. Let me welcome my distinguished guest, friend and brother, Mr. Jackie Smith. Jackie, welcome.
Thank you, Jala.
Welcome, sorry.
Yeah.
How are you?
I'm good.
Do you understand the dialect?
Oh, very well. Speaking
And
as
what
well.
is the guy saying? The songwriter?
Um,
You want to hear some more?
yeah, sure.
Okay. Fonfonke. So if Pele would say Fonfonke, means he gave someone a hard time. And so what did he say?
He's my very good brother. In fact, we're from the same district.
Ah.
Yes. I remember during the display days. Yeah, Sonaga and I interacted a lot.
Okay.
So he's saying, Beji, Iju, Beji, my children, come.
Okay.
You know, we're giving you hard time, like you say in the Pele vernacular.
Okay. So Jackie, how have you been? Already we're here a month ago, 2 months ago, and we're discussing some political matters. And now we'll come back again. How have you been? And how's things with you?
I'm good, Jala, trying to continue where I am. Sometimes, like I told you, when issues of national concern comes up, and as citizens of the country, it's good that we all share in. And thank you always for your invite. You know, I saw your invite last night. I said, Jala, no problem. I will brave the storm and come so that we can talk about some of the things that you think worth talking about and things that I have purpose that I think we should be trading as citizens, and that should be the right direction for our country. So I'm okay, Jara. And
Again, every time you come to the radio, there are different audiences that come. The last time you were here, there were different audience, maybe the same audience will come. But for the sake of the public, who is Jackie? What does he do? What is his political alignment, if he has?
so Jara, right now, Jackie Smith, I'm a Liberian citizen, and as a matter of fact, I work in the private sector. Um, Obviously, talking about political alignment, I have just been supportive of some of the political ideologies, particularly when it relates to the governance of our country. And sometimes I think that when elections are around, it's not good to remain silent as a citizen, because whatever it is, whatever government comes to power, if they don't perform to the good of the people, obviously it hampers all of us. I'm also a business entrepreneur. I have few folks in my employ,
Okay.
and we are trying to do what we can do to ensure that Liberia be what it is. So it's always a pleasure to add our voice to the many voices up there that are yearning for the good of our country.
Now, we'll go to the crux of the matter for which I've called you, the 1 year examination of Joseph Nyamobuaka's reign since 2023. Going 1 year now, 2025, we're in 2025, 2024 to 2025. Now, I saw something on your Facebook page that has to do with healing, reconciliation, and development, a forward movement of our country. What were you trying to say in that post?
So
You're trying to rally the support of Liberians. What were you trying to say?
So Jala, what I have experienced, and there's something intriguing that moved me to write that post, to have written that post. Jala, there are a lot, and you were asked comparative analysis of President Bwaga's, first year of his administration, comparative analysis of President Weah, the then President Weah, first year. We all are crying wolf, and of course, so the signs are there that things are difficult, so forth and so on. But my idea about it, and Jala, what I have sensed from the entire thing over the past time is that, look, the two major political parties in our country, I think they are doing disservice to this country. They are kind of promulgating themselves and fighting for political supremacy. So when you find out that one is in power, you see that there is so much agitations, people trying to influence and use the citizenry against that current incumbent, so as to negatively portray, that administration and give them the edge, so that when election does come about again, like in 2029, they will have the edge. I say this to say, Jala, you remember when you were with the OKFN radio station in 2017 or 18, after the elections and President we have first reign, I had a show with you, and there was this give our money back, protest, so forth and so on, were coming up, and I said to you, Jala, I said the best thing to do to keep this country kind of to get investors and what have you to come in this country, it's always good that we keep the place peaceful and quiet. Even though there are issues that we're talking about, we can talk about them, but we don't need to go beyond talking.
Yeah.
Like you said, Jala,
Grapeview chapter 1 verse 1.
Chapter 1 verse 1.
Let's talk and talk and
getting
talk.
in the
Never shall we
street and
fight.
fighting, so forth and so on, will not do us any good. So before I get to the crux of the issues, where I will give you my own idea or thinking or notice of what I have seen in the first year, I just want to say to us and to the many Liberians probably honor my voice, and particularly to our ordinary citizens, Jala, the market woman out there, the Hiana boy, the pimping guys, our disadvantaged youth, our brothers out there. Look, it is you and I that suffer the most. It is you and I that suffer or fall prey and victimized to all of the political tricks that our politicians are playing. Let me let you know, you are not a direct beneficiary to any of these people. What the government has to do for us is, when we give them power, they ought to give us development, better life, so forth and so on.
Based on a social contract we
Definitely,
signed.
it's a social contract. The personal thinking of any of these politicians will only be for their own political upliftment. I will call it political aggrandizement. It's not for you and I. So I have realized, Jala, with time past, that, look, during the Wiase's administration, first year, you found out that all of these protestations came about. And I said to you, Jala, if all of the noise continue to get out there, they will undermine investors from coming to Liberia.
Yeah.
Because the first year of any government, even in the United States, as it will be, people and investors will watch to see the atmosphere, the security conditions, the economic conditions, and what have you, that will drive their decisions to go and invest. So what of Africa? What of Liberia? You have a situation that people are watching. Jala, I don't know whether you have sensed and seen. There are a lot of companies or NGOs prior to the elections that left this country, in which many of our brothers or brethren were employed. Today, they are on the way, no job.
Yeah.
People are watching to see that this country, the level of stability that will occur before they can come in and put their money.
Yeah.
Why would somebody want to come put their money somewhere and you tomorrow you find out that people all over the street demonstrating here and there that they won't even get the dividend of their investment? So it's not good for us, particularly our folks up there. I want to encourage us as Liberians that look, we have a recourse.
What is a recourse?
That recourse is to be patient and wait for the democratic process. So we elected a president, we elected a government into power, and it has 6 years. Within the 6-year period, we are watching and looking and hoping that the government would do the necessary thing it ought to do. So Jala, if they don't do it, come 2029, we have a recourse to democratically go to the poll and remove that person. And Liberia, an example, a Liberia that is emanating the good example of the United States of America, from which we copy our governance system. Look at America. You just had an elections that ended in America last year, November. Jala, there was this issue of age with the incumbent president, right? And the Democratic Party, the old man went for a debate with the current president, Donald Trump. He was massively whipped in that election.
Of course.
So the guy said, look, the old man was like flip-flopping. He was making mistakes and what have you. He said, look, the opinion pool were putting and seeing Donald Trump at the peak. So they said, look, if we don't tell this old man to the face that, look, you have to step aside and allow a younger person to go, there will be massive defeat. So they told Kamala, right? Look, what happened in the process, and I observed, Jala, is that the American people were resolved. They have seen and said, look, the process of glossary, you know, that is basic commodities and what have you, under Donald Trump, were far better as compared to President Biden.
Biden, yeah.
You understand? So they went, Kamala became the Democratic Party candidate. I saw her campaigning many days, and she could not campaign on the basis of the achievement of the Biden's administration.
Of course.
She was blowing her own trumpet. Okay? So this speaks to you.
In other words, you're distancing yourself from their failure.
Exactly. Whether it was a failure, but she could not identify whether they have failed or, because if I'm running on that party ticket, I will tell you that, look, this party has done so much, there are so many successes, and I think you should re-elect us, you know, for the governance purpose of our country. So I want to say that Liberians, we are emanating the concept of the United States democracy. Let us not allow anybody, even though I'm not here to say, I'm not speaking for out of the group, to say that the government is 100%, but let's give them the chance to work, and that if they fail to deliver on those deliverables that they have promised in time past, you have a recourse.
Now,
and that recourse will be to make a decision during election time.
Now,
but to allow anybody, for that matter, to incite people, to incite you, leave your basic commodity, leave your daily hustle, and go after them. No, I don't think it's in your interest. It's only for their own personal aggrandizement, and it will not move you anywhere, because in the end, it will suffer you and I the most. There will be no investors. You wouldn't be able to go to the market to sell your daily bread, to earn get money for your children's school fee, so forth and so on. So we have to stop. We can talk. We can call on the radio, say the things we have to say. Let us not get anywhere behind anybody. I said, as you say, Jalal, where my thought came from. Prior to the Capitol building, you know, uprising and the fire situation there.
Okay.
You know, there was a very short stay protest on that day.
Yeah.
The next day was the fire incident.
Yeah.
Jada, I was driving to town, and somewhere on Ken Johnson Road, I saw folks giving money to our disadvantaged youth.
Really?
In the street. I can say that for free. And to amass them, to move them from that direction towards the Capitol building as their group to go and protest. Jala, it pains me. Jala, do look at our brothers that are called disadvantaged youth.
Did you identify anyone doing that?
No, I'm not. I was leg. Ah, wow. Today, look at the graveyard. Those folks are sleeping in the graveyard. Those folks are eating from the dump site. Nobody cares for them. The only thing you want to do is that when you want to get your political will through or get your intent through, you go and give them money and amass them to go in defense of you, to demonstrate for you, so that you can show strength of people following you. It's absolutely wrong. It's absolutely wrong. I thought you would be using your finances to get those guys in some camp, rehabilitate them, get them on good footing. You can make them a better citizen again, rather than inciting them to go behind you and do the things that you think you want them to do because you want to get your end accomplished. I think it's absolutely wrong, and people should desist from that.
Now, this has been a vicious cycle.
It's completely wickedness and completely nefarious on the part of politicians who think in those directions.
Now, it's in the tradition and political tradition, I would say, in Liberia. Obviously, the opposition won't say anything better about the ruling establishment.
And that's a wrong.
And that's why Nathaniel Mange said once, he said, the work of the opposition is also to criticize. Even if you see the good thing, they criticize it. They want to come by the power. Now, before you came on the radio, there's a guy who called, and I quizzed him, Peter McCauley, talking about amassing people, the call for Bwaka to step down. He was debunked by another guy from around the street, and he was saying that protestation is not correct. But people saw these things in the past as a way of correcting the wrongs and putting pressure on the government. That happened on George Weah administration 4 months earlier in his administration. There were people here agitating that 16 billion went wrong, missing, 25 million, 24 million went missing from the mobbing exercise, and they want accountability. And started putting Weah's feet to the fire and calling for protests. And there was a wild protest here. And the guys on the other side think that at this point, it should be their turn and doing the same thing as a means of putting Bwaka's feet to the fire. Do you think we should still go on with this kind of vicious cycle?
It's wrong, Jala, and we should stop it. Okay, I told you that. I said that before. I spoke to that.
Yeah,
before.
you spoke to that before. But they see that as a way of oppressing the government.
So, as an opposition, to be say that the role of oppositions is meant to criticize. Jala, you can criticize, but you should be rational enough. You should be constructive in your criticism. So I listened to you many times that if you see white and you call it black, if the guy did something that is good, look. As a constructive or I call it a rational opposition party, you can write a press release and commend the person for once. It's not everything that you'll be so negative about. That everything. For example, what President Weah did in this country, that he built feeder roads, in some communities and everything. He did what he could do in terms of those developed parks and everything. So you come and say to hell, they are all wrong, he did nothing absolutely, then of course you are not sincere. Okay? So put right where it belongs and tell the man if he does wrong, you tell him say he's wrong. It's not just always negative. That's what I'm saying. So for anybody to say that people should amass people to go and call for the countdown of a sitting president that was elected democratically, obviously is wrong. It's not the right path to take. Let us give peace a chance. Let us give whatever government in power a chance to exercise the democratic rights and ensure that they do the things that they promised the Liberian people.
Before George comes in with his thoughts or question later, we want to sit back for a while, Mr. Jackie Smith, and give you some time to put a spin on the 1 year reign of the president, the government, 1 year after. Have we achieved anything significant? Because 1 year after, or before 1 year, the politicians were criticizing George Weah 1 year in power, that there was not much being done. There were issues of Ibomaf and Ayrton loan agreement that failed, and then they didn't see any prospect for the government. They seen as happened on Bwaka has to do with the yellow machine, has to do with the scholarship, it has to do with a lot of things. The buses were Ghana, and all of these are all rolling a lot of things around. And later, things pick up at some point, and Joseph Bwaka has asked that we be patient. That after 1 year, he makes a follow-up on these matters or these agreements we're talking about with the international partners. What could you say has been achieved or have been achievements in 1 year? A, there were lapses or there are still lapses. How do we correct them?
All right, so Jala, so thank you. So like I told you, when the government comes to power, it comes and you have been seeing the back and forth, wars of wars, from government to government, even from Madam Sharif time to George Weah time to President Waga time. I inherited a broke economy. I inherited a fragile central bank, so forth and so on, and what have you. But what I would say is that, look, whatever the condition or whatever the situation is, the current administration came to power and they said there were a lot of lapses that they made. So they tried to look at the rudiments of the policy issues. They tried to look at, the issues that will address some of those things. So I'm hoping that within the first year, they should certify most of those things that they think they were doing to get us on a good footing and to ensure that we experience success, not just that government, but the Liberian people. Because, Jala, 6 years of President Weah, rather, if you say that it was in waste and nothing was done, it is us that experienced that waste or suffered the waste. Because 6 years of my life went free for nothing.
Yeah.
Okay? And if we should not allow this one to happen again. So I'm thinking that, look, what are those things? They said they made lapses and what have you. And I think the government agenda was just launched, and the president had a lot of meetings with his cabinet in my insurance to tell them that, look, you are to do this, and we expect everybody to work. Now, with what I see, whether I see the development or I didn't see development or saw something positive, I would say, look, I want to put aside most of the bigger things that you would think. There were a lot of missteps, when it comes to legal and what have you, because like I find on this issue of the something with the taxi something, how do you call them? The Finabono.
Okay, you mean
yeah.
That's a gracious right
case, at the Supreme Court and what have you. Look, you want to do something in terms of recovering Liberian people's money, take your own time, do it holistically, so that when you get to the court and what have you, you won't have a slap in the face. I think that was a too much rush and what have you, and it didn't just occur well. But, Chala, let me say this to you. Somebody says, if your Christmas, rather, will be good, sometimes you will see it from the eve. Chala, why is true that the bread and butter issue in this country that can never be overlooked by anybody? Because if you come to power and you think that you want to build all the skyscrapers and the people are in abject poverty and they cannot find a meal for the day, you'll be mistaken. Because they will rubbish all those things. Absolutely. And they will tell you that you have not done anything. So the government need to work in that direction. But there are a few things that I see positive.
So you think that the bread and butter issue in 1 year was not addressed adequately?
It's not addressed. And of course, it's not addressed yet, Jala. You know that.
And do you think it will be addressed in the coming years?
I'm very hopeful and optimistic because I know, Jala, I'm a person, right? I interact with people on a day-to-day basis. I live in a community. I interact with people, and I know that times are really tough. I even do business, Jala, and times are really tough. So we're hoping that things will be better. But just before you could come in,
go ahead.
there are a few things that I have seen positive that I think if others in the other parastatals of government can emulate the example of the workings of the other friends, obviously things will be good. One, I can tell you for free, Jala, the city governance is doing well. Compared to maybe say the first rain, go around. I'm going home and driving in the night. I see those folks working, sweeping, driving, sweeping desks and moving desks. The kind of garbage piles and things that was around, they have been removed. That's a very good sign. The availability of basic commodities. For example, the rice that we all talk about, the gasoline, so forth and so on. While the prices might not be at the lower rate that you would think of, I think it's somewhere around $17, $18. It is available. I'm encouraging them to always do that.
Availability and affordability.
Affordability, that's another thing, of course, yes. And so that's where the bread and butter thing will come in because, and I was shocked. It's just quite recently, 2 weeks ago, that you see the price of gasoline is kind of climbing again. But
that may be related to the exchange rate.
$580 in your era. I bought it there before. Yeah.
It's not 720.
It's not 720. Maybe the exchange rate is also climbing and what have you. But there are few signs. Look around some government entities. The water and sewer, they are doing their best. Look at the mass and energy. And Jala, one thing I can say to you, you come in this place to work, right? You have your home. At your home, it's so decent and polite. You come in this place and you don't care about this place. If this place gets dilapidated, you see the ceiling falling, you see the pin and all dirty. You can't even help to pin them. Of course, it don't show you being responsive enough. So, as a responsible person and a responsible government, obviously, these are all things you should ensure that they are working. Go into a government parastatal and see life, that life is moving, that things are on track. And I can see, I can tell you, I'm now a mouthpiece of this government, but Jala, I have been shocked. I went to a few areas in terms of government ministries. The transport ministry, go there. Things are working, they're moving. So where they have started from the first year, the bread and butter thing, if I'm sure officials of the government probably might be listening and they will get the message, it needs to be worked on. I'm not kind of downplaying that. They need to address it because you are intending on building an overhead bridge, from Congo Town and what have you. Those are your developmental plans. Government is striving enough to ensure that electricity becomes affordable. So forth and so on. All of these things, if you do them and the people cannot have food to eat, the people are suffering, you are doomed to have problems.
So if one were to give a critique of the government, you don't just have to say the government has failed. You go by government institution parastatus and know what the functions are.
Definitely. Because that is where you start from. Okay? So I'm sure you're going to catalog at the end of the year what each entity, line-driven entity, have done and what would do, to better the life of the people. So you go to the agriculture ministry and every day there is a sun. Agriculture ministry is close with the authority, and we understand that the president has an agricultural background. And he says so much about this sector that he wants to improve. So if that sector is improving in terms of creating mechanized farming that will bring sufficiency, self-sufficiency to the country, obviously it's a positive sign.
Okay.
So it all is not negative. I know that there were a lot of missteps, and everybody are just looking at those ones and condemning. You and I have a responsibility. Even as citizens of this country, when the price of gasoline comes down and you are riding a pimpin, stop charging people 500 Liberty from Broad Street to ERW Junction. Bring the price down to $250. The Ministry of Transport, that's the next thing they need to do. Bring the price
regulation.
Price regulation. So that suffering mother that is sending his or her child to school will use the next $250 to give them lunch for the day.
On the overall, if you were asked to grade this government, looking at what they've done within first year, what would be that grading mark?
So I wouldn't want to be sentimental here in grading the government and what have you, because I don't have the statistics, honestly speaking. But that's why I told you the policy issues are there and what have you. So I try to use my idea, I try to use my foresight in seeing the workings, of the government, in ensuring that these things are there. I'm sure there are groups, advocacy groups and what have you, that, for example, like go to Capitol building every time they want to critique a particular official of government and what have you, or a representative, so forth and so on, and they will bring out the statistics. When we see the statistics, we can look at them, but I think it has not been overwhelming in terms of performance. Let me be clear, because there were hurdles. And most of the hurdle comes from us. If we keep following people to be causing noise and agitating and getting in the street and doing all of the negative things, government alone cannot implore the entire citizenry of the country. I was listening to the Prime Minister last time. He said 28,000 of the over 5 million Liberian people on government payrolls will be benefiting from salary increment at the end of January. I don't know what's a complete,
I think you're talking about those who have been below the belt.
Yes, below the belt.
Yeah. Getting 150.
But if you look at government entire employment, it should be somewhere in the neighborhood around 68 to 70,000 persons. It's minute of our population. So we should give chance to allow developmental partners to come into this country, create job opportunity that you and I would.
But in 1 year, have you seen any major partners in terms of development coming to this country?
I saw some agreements being signed. I think you, as a journalist, should be more cognizant of this more than I would do. But I know that there was some regulation or developmental stuff signed talking about, mining stuff and what have you. They rail from Yekepa and what have you. I think a group's supposed to come and take it over. But other than that, what can we say? We saw even like the yellow machine thing you were talking about that who have been a very positive sign. I think to a certain extent, there were a lot of missteps. It became so much of a political issue, politicized and what have you. Today, what are those things? They are packed. I think if you have put something like 250 yellow machines on the road to work, you will give a lot of Liberian job. I know folks who are mechanics, who are yellow machine, operators and what have you. They're sitting down, they can get a job.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, Jackie, we're moving to the president's sonar on Monday, but there seem to be some troubling signs emerging. The lawmakers, they were being a loggerhead at each other majority and minority bloc, and the minority bloc has agreed to join their colleagues to carry on their legislative businesses on Capitol Hill. But in the face of that, it was a troubling sign of the Capitol building being burned. Today we're hearing the police say they need 7 lawmakers to appear before them or they be arrested ahead of the sonar, while at the same time the minority bloc headed by Musa Bello is saying they will boycott the entire sonar. That about 28 lawmakers. What do you think is going to happen? People talk about constitutional crisis. You will not have the lawmakers there. The president will not get the approbation of the Liberian people and all of those.
So, Jala, in my mind, it's not a good thing, and we want to encourage, the rest of the quote-unquote minority black to rescind their decisions and join the president on Monday and doing his sonar. Okay? While at the same time, we understand that there is crisis, there is confusion among them, but you have just in recent days, Jala, like you said, agreed to join the rest of your colleagues, to perform legislative function. And then the same legislative function that you are performing, in a token of an eye, you are boycotting. So I think it's just on the basis of somebody like telling them and saying, look, don't do this, don't do that, and they are not driven by their own conscience. Because if you are driven by your own conscience, that conscience that drove you to say it's necessary, let's go back and join our force. Obviously, Jala, you have a situation. I think where all the issues came from is about quorum and the lack of quorum. Okay? And so, yeah, the speaker has the legitimate power. He lacks quorum. He goes to the Capitol building. Every day he adjourns. He cannot perform one function. And we are going this route. And a lot of people say they're wearing a clear interpretation from the Supreme Court. And it got us where we are today. The Justice Minister came up and interpreted, in his wisdom, the Supreme Court interpretation. And today you have the guys in the majority black functioning. They have been dealt with from all angles of government, from the executive and everywhere. And the minority group say, we're going to go and work with you. You have started working with them. You're taking salaries. Okay? You're performing other functions there. But for the president sooner, and you boycott.
No, but some of them, the fact is that some of them, their salaries have been seized. Their benefits and amenities have been taken away.
Of course, I mean,
those are 7 lawmakers who they accuse of being a part of the hula ballo, and they say they use insulting comments and threatening their colleagues.
So
like Marvin Coe and others.
That was prior to
yes.
To the,
but up to the time they announced that they were going to join our colleagues, those amenities are not being returned.
So what I'm saying is the boycott is prior to those guys' suspension. They were named. You said 7 persons.
Absolutely.
So according to them, 7 persons are suspended, and you have the rest of the 21 guys who are not suspended and are supposed to be with their police and what have you. And they have been going there. So if you have been going there,
they might be in solidarity with our colleagues. That's why they're doing that.
So you in solidarity with colleagues there from day one. You said, I'm in solidarity with my colleagues. They are suspended and will not go to section. But you left them and you went to join with the majority group. You are in section. You continue to argue on the day to day at your plenary. But it must only come to the president sooner, and you disagree that you didn't go. It's not in the best interest of the country. It's only hurting us, the ordinary people. Jala, I will continue to reference the ordinary people.
Let's have time to interact with the callers for a while, just for a few minutes, and then we'll come back.
When you are scared and say you go to, you don't just call you on a lyric. Trust what they say you go number.
Business Buzzer Liberia 104.1 in Monrovia, 95.7 in Grand Bassa County, 90.7 in Bond County, 89.7 in Magibie County, and 96.7 in Vanjaman Lofa County. We're not getting many calls on our people in Lofa County. Please call, man. Let me call the numbers again. 0773 419 02 0773 419 502 0555 184 for the people in the counties. 0773 978 That's the number for the female callers. Keep sending your text messages on our feed right here. I will read them for you. It's a Jala Griffiths presentation. As soon as I get signal that the callers are on the line, I will take their calls. Jackie Smith is my guest. Let's see the first call. Hello, welcome. Reduce the monitor, please. Hello, welcome. Reduce the monitor. Hello, welcome. Reduce the monitor.
Yes, I'm Charles calling from Fender.
Fender, welcome. Let's say you have 30 seconds.
No, to the studio guest. You tell you in certain people to work with also where you was 2018 was Joya took over the pay June. That June 7 protest. We were in the country. 2. I want to know the road I'm leading because they said Boaka face a road in the southeast. And I came from Sano recently. I don't want you to send you the test from Sano Greenville.
Okay.
The road, the bridge that link between Grand Master and our road, sir. The bridge cut and the road currently can pay 2 times cargo to come Morovia. Where the probably where I'm doing what I road on the bridge.
Ministry. Okay, thank you. The next caller, welcome. Let's hear you.
Yeah, good evening, Mr. Jala.
Good evening, welcome. You have 30 seconds, make a case.
Yeah, this is how we are joining you from Paso.
Grand Pastor, welcome.
Jala, let me say, okay, my question go to the brother in studio.
Yeah,
we have to read the Liberian people because you saw people destroying money on Broad Street. I was Jeremiah PLN, I was sharing money in people. For people to carry product on in the country, and I say working in the country here.
Where that one
question go to him.
Yeah, where that one happening? Where you see
it happen in George we have stand. It happen in George man we have stand. They share money in people to go and protest, do some protest. Our in Monroe Alakan.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so very kindly. And this text said, Chief Honorable Boaka, the president needs to stop letting up fire that will not be able to go off. Thanks to the CDC chairman for the press conference that was released by the party. It is the strong resistance to protect the constitution and the democracy of our country in keeping with the rules of law. And this one comes from who is the texter? It's long, Mr. Clarence M. Kiawu. The next caller, welcome. Let's hear you. Hello.
Yeah, I don't know, Mr. Jara.
Welcome, sir. Where do you come from? What is your name?
Okay, that's from Banisfield.
Banisfield, welcome to Central Monrovia.
Okay, I salute the senior guest. It's very off. I think the minority will return to go to the sooner. Because that is a precedent they're going to say if they don't go. Tomorrow will still be around. They may come to power too. I think people too want to start with that. You know, somebody said, protests and protests are happening today. If they don't go to this now, tomorrow, and the rest people say, okay, and they will do the matter now, let them return. Thank you very much.
The next caller, welcome.
Hello.
Hello, where do you come from? What is your name?
I'm Daniel Google calling from Buchanan, Grand Bassa County.
Buchanan is dominating the call this afternoon. Welcome, let's hear you.
Thank you, brother. I listened to the second caller that land bridge between Grand Bassa and Riverside. We now call Jackie from Riverside this morning. You want to be live on the video.
Also,
thank you.
Okay, that's okay. Thank you. The message, so 07739785564 is the number for the female callers. We encourage you strongly to call. It makes our democracy stronger if the female participate and make their input to critical decisions or discussions that have to do with the forward movement of our country. 07734195502 05551847111. The callers from the counters. Hello, welcome.
Yeah, hello, I'm Stanley S.K. Dominic from Sugarcane Farm, Grand Pastor County.
Welcome. Let's hear you from Grand Bassa County, sir.
Yeah, what your studio guest is saying there that people are showing the government present. It's not true. That's the government that's showing itself.
How is the government from itself?
They are enthusing the representatives not to be together. They bring additional money among them to divide them, and they are then divided. And the executives are taking side with a majority group, and which is not supposed to be like that. If you want the government to work together, one group go apart, the head supposed to go and make peace among them. But instead of the president doing that, then he favor one group, which is not right.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. The next caller, welcome. Let's hear you. Hello, you live on Voice of Liberia Radio. My name is Jala Greenfield, and what is your name?
Yes, good afternoon to you, big brother Jala Greenfield, and good afternoon to the Liberian people.
Yes.
Yes, okay. For the name, I'm Ambassador Nina Divan Tiapo, political apostle in Icon Foundation number 16.
Okay.
Yes, big brother Jala, this is my first time calling on your show.
Divan
And for nomenclature or let's say I'm PRO for United Party who wins the 16 week chapter. But what I want to say is I'm one of the persons who have seen a problem with some of the color or even like people who call it on the show. But I want to say this to the guy who you are hosting. This man, for his expose, it feels that they show love for country. Because like some of the things that he said, like the issue about our country is our leaders that we put in power.
Okay.
These are people who are not showing love for country because why? We will elect them when they get in power, then they will turn back to the Liberian people. But then they will encourage to know that people who yesterday who supposed to be beneficial to the past government, when the past government for in power, they will be against the other government who are in power. Thinking that when the other government get in power, they will be of direct beneficiary. Forgetting to know that those guys
all right, different tempo. So thank you so very kindly. 0773978564. For the female callers, 0773-419-502, 0555-184-711 are the numbers to call me on the show right here. You can be a part of it. Voice of Liberia is heard on 96.7 in Benjamin City, beyond of the Kolahun and to Vahum and to Foya, Waimagi County. It is there. It is in Bong on 90.7, 95.7 in Grand Bassa, 104.1 in Maggie, in Monrovia rather. Then let's call a welcome. I'll take two calls and call you quick. Hello, welcome.
Yeah.
Hello, welcome. Let's hear you, my brother.
Yeah, Jala.
Yes, sir.
Wellington really from Buchanan, Grand Bassa.
Wellington, really welcome. How are you?
Not bad. Because I just continue to say because now the poor protest during the weird time and then no company came here. You know, 6 years was lost.
So you want to see things to happen again?
No, the protest here, you come to protest again. When they year lost, they think that 29 they will not protest again for 9 years to lost. Because it was the middle,
you don't even feel protest, right? You don't even feel it, right?
Yes, we cannot continue to say that.
You feel a protest or you don't feel which one?
No one feel a protest.
Okay.
But when they continue to do that means no president will come here.
Thank you. The last caller. Thank you. The last caller is coming. Welcome.
Hello.
Reduce the monitor now. You have the radio on very loud.
Yeah, I did this here from my monitor. My name is Jeremiah Bona. I come from my residence in Sonota, District 60.
All right.
Yeah, I get people saying protest here is there, so I don't understand why is there. Because I think it's the rule of law to make people kind of do business in your country. But we have people saying, I don't know what people protest. So protest in that case is there, so it's for us to keep the rule of law, to make people kind of believe that they trust the justice system. But now people don't trust our justice system, so everybody is afraid to kind of bring the money in a country that there's no justice. Yeah, okay.
All right. Okay. Someone was on the line. The lines are getting so. Let me just take that one for fun now. Hello. Welcome. Hello.
Yeah,
Welcome. Let's see.
I'm
All the
George.
lines are ringing. I can't take every one of you. Yeah. Go ahead.
Hello?
George, where do you
Yeah.
call?
My name is George Esculi. I just want to tell.
Where are you
these
calling
people-
from?
I'm calling from First Street.
Okay.
Thinker.
Mm.
Yeah. I just want to tell the Liberia people that we are tired. The government that we depend on to live all they let us down. So they should give us change. They should give the government, to the Baka government, to do what they could do. Not yet not enough for the people to do everything that they want.
All
I'm
right.
a citizen, but citizen power down. So let them give the people change. Let them rule us the way they want it.
Thank you.
How they want it. Thank you.
What I know, nothing you can do like a baby up there. Like, hey, you won't do. Don't live your life like a I bet you can like a million people. Like, hey, you must do. The love we living in I want time. In the pocket, you're not coming back. The love we living in I want time. Oh, you keep the pocket, you're not coming back. You want go left, you want go left. You want go right, you want go right.
And this guy's a real entertainer, man. This one's called a single as single.
I will not put my mouth on your waist. Anything to the people also talk. Anything to the people also talk. Why you so scared say you joke? You know just what you want to hear. That's what I'm say you could not walk. Let the people talk.
You live your life, let the people talk, man. Don't mind the mother people. You don't live your life better. Oh. Jesus Christ can talk about it again. Much about you, motor man. If you're a Tesla driver living on Pinsway coming to Monrovia, or living in Monrovia going to the suburb of Pinsway or the Douala, and take time, slow down to the crosswalks, allow the people to cross. Tesla driver, don't run too fast now. Very shortly we'll go by the Jackie Smith to give us his parting comment. Yes, Mrs. Sponsor Liberia 104.1. And the song is called A Single as Single. It's a very beautiful piece of record. Yeah, I like it. My first time playing it, I listened to it somewhere when I was coming to town. And I love the beat. I said, we'll go find that music. Jackie, you listen to the callers. I'm not taking call again, people. Yeah, please wait. Yes, so you want to respond. There are a lot of callers coming, some with questions, some with just pieces of advice, and some saying, giving you accolades.
Yeah, Jala, so I listened to the callers, and the first two callers tried to say, wow, why? Because there were protests yesterday,
You
so there
talk.
should be protests today.
Mm.
Okay? No, I spoke. You know you myself, you talk.
Yes.
I said it is us, the citizens, that suffer. When two elephant
Yeah,
fight,
those are your earlier comments.
yes, the guys will suffer. So not because it was wrong yesterday, so it should be wrong today. You can right the wrongs for the good of Liberia. Today, it's been done. You know, it was done yesterday. It's done today. Tomorrow, you want to continue doing it when another person comes? Is that what we're going to be on here? So the other guy said that protestations is sanctioned by law. We, of course, which is true. Peaceful protest. That is why it's called for. You can take your placards. You can go before the Capitol building, peacefully assemble, show your placards, and what have you. We have done it many times, and you have the peace. That are the last short protests I saw before the fire incident at the Capitol building. It was not cordial. It was not palatable at all. That I saw people fighting with the police around the CDC compound when they had that fight. It was a terrible thing. It don't resemble our country. People out there see it, they wouldn't feel good. That's the one I'm talking about. I'm not talking about the one that you want to call the attention of somebody Our mothers
We used to
always do
protest,
peaceful
yeah.
protest on the
Yes, then
field.
we have placards
We can
here,
do
yeah.
that, you know, and that is good for our country. We call our leaders' attention to things. But the ones that will continue every morning, Voice of Liberia, right? Voice of Liberia is seeing worldwide. Am I right?
Yeah, of course.
Worldwide. So people are watching you. Every day they watch Liberia. They see lawmakers fighting, throwing blow at one another. They see our people in the street fighting. That's what I'm talking about. Fighting police officer, police fighting here and there. You know, I saw an old man who was flogged in that incident.
Yes, and I saw the police officer.
Yeah.
He went and took her into his
In
chest.
his chest and carried
that was
her
a good
out of
police on
there.
that part of that police
Of
officer.
course, you know. So these are the kind of things we talk about. They don't portray, you know, good for our country. And it's just my prayer and hope to you there, guys who are listening. I'm not here to speak for anybody, to speak for the opposition or to speak for the government. As a matter of fact, I'm not in government. As a matter of fact, I'm not in opposition. I'm not an opposition politician. I'm a citizen who has my right to express my view. But I'm telling you, for the good of our country and for the good of us, the electorate, let us ensure that we give whoever government is in power the chance. When they don't perform, we give them an elbow during the next election. And I think they will get somewhere. So let us talk. Let's keep talking. Let's keep pointing out the ills rationally. When it's good, you say it's good. When it's wrong, you say it's wrong, you know. And the country will be better. Thank you, Jala.
Thank you, Mr. Jackie C. Smith. He has spoken so well this afternoon on Voice of Liberia. George, where he has been here, he continues the cash giveaway. Lots of money to be won this afternoon. My valued listener of the day is Bapolu County Senator Amara Kone, former finance minister of Liberia. George, will pick up from here. That's how we're going this evening, this afternoon, this morning. Hell, where you listen to us from? How are you listening? This has been a Jala Griffiths presentation of the show. Let us say, come here, Balak Blue. Or come in, you want to go. And say what that my name is Zobo, the son of a warrior. The son of a warrior fears nothing but to do wrong. Please remember Jala Griffith chapter 1 verse 1. Let's talk. Talk and talk. Never, 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 never shall we fight. I'm taking a weekend break. George, where you will be here tomorrow, but man, I don't. Let me welcome back the man called Never Called to the country from Deputy Director General at the National Lotteries. Have a good day. I'll see you when you see me. Thanks to Dante Weir, who has been here providing all the technical details and assistances here. Have a good day.